Okay, everyone, and welcome back. I'm joined today by Ryonix, otherwise known as just an Aussie Yuri.
G'day everyone, my name is Ryonix.
So, let's go. I look down at my own hands. All I can do is stare. Never felt a sting of her blood on them until now. My hands burn as though exposed to acid. What the hell is going on? You promised me a future with Sayori!
My promise to you was a way out of your curse. I said you would be free if you took fate into your own hands. Since your fate is to witness Sayori's death, you took it quite literally. And now you must live with the consequences of your actions for the rest of your life.
I don't understand! How can you be so cruel?
You don't get it, do you? I am that which plagues your diseased mind.
What are you talking about?
Our time is up. You could have had that future with her. But now it seems you will never get that chance.
I feel his presence uncoil itself from me. And with his disappearance, I'm left alone for the first time. Truly alone. I can't bear it. Everything I worked so hard for was all for nothing. So, this was my terrible fate. To play out this nightmare. I can't bear this. Taking my fate into my own hands now. Without any care left, I lifelessly walk back home. I pick up a familiar rope. The same rope Sayori was going to use on herself. I tie it back into a hangman's noose. And, right as I wrap it around my neck, ready to face death, I realize the bitter irony of it all. I've journeyed all this way through time, and now I've come full circle. How fitting for a journey's end. Nothing else matters anymore. Now, I can end this nightmare once and for all. Farewell, cruel world. Farewell, fate. I kick the chair down, and the world does the rest. I stand in the abyss. A darker, colder hell than any man could ever conjure. I see the beginning of all things, and the end of everything. An eternity waves over me in an instant, and in the end of it all, a small light had peered through the void. Where am I? Hello. Welcome, Millie. Monica? Where am I? Is this the afterlife? Yes. And no. This is nothing. There is nothing here. Just you and me. Where's Sayori? Sayori isn't here. Where is she? Her fate eludes me. So, it's just us. And 2 corpses in 1 grave. A fitting punishment for you. Why are you here? Why aren't you in hell? Anywhere can be hell if you make it that way. Our souls rest here for an undetermined amount of time. We all end up here. We all beg and plead to atone for our sins. We all wish for a way out of here. What am I supposed to do? Sit here for all eternity, hopelessly hoping something will happen? There are 2 doors behind you. You can't see them, but one of them will open when your judgment is final. All we can do now is sit and think. And hope to atone for our sins. Not that we will be forgiven. An idle mind is the work of the devil. Perhaps. But if you put a D in evil, you get devil. And if you remove an O from good, you get God. What's your point? Put the 2 letters together, and you get the word do. Now, what will you do? What I've always been trying to do. Save Sayori. I know the plans I have for her. Plans for her to prosper and not to harm her. Plans to give her hope and a future. And what if it cannot be done? I will make it so it will be done. And what if you manage to lead her to a better life, start a family, and she lives happily for 75 more years? What do you think will happen when she finally passes by then? Your fate is inexorable. One way or another, you will end up back here. No matter how high you push the boulder, once you let go, it will come crashing back down to where you started. You're wrong. It's the truth. There has to be a way. In the infinite permutations the universe can conjure, yes, there is very much a way. Both in all her deaths and in all her lives. The wheel will keep turning, no matter which way it goes. What are you getting at? What if I told you that this life, as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live once more and innumerable times more? And there will be nothing new in it. Every pain and every joy and every thought and sigh, and everything unutterably small or great in your life will have to return to you. All in the same succession and sequence. Even this spider and this moonlight between the trees, and even this moment and I myself. The eternal hourglass of existence is turned upside down again and again, and you with it, speck of dust. Would you not throw yourself down and gnash your teeth at me and curse me? Or do you praise me as a messenger of God as you've never heard anything more divine? Do you wish to live this life once more, and an infinite more times? Do you accept your fate as it has been laid out? Or do you wish to live it once more? Or do you wish to persist in the hell you found yourself in? To live in the relentless eternity of unfathomable madness of the perpetual spinning of the hourglass? Do you accept your fate? Do you accept Sayori's death? Or do you deny it? Curse it. Damn everything you see to hell. The choice is now yours. What will you do? Yes, I solemnly accept this fate. Let Amor Fati be my guide. You are a messenger of God, and I have never heard anything more divine. So it is written. Go then. Go to your true destiny. Behind me, a door opens up, and a warm, blinding light calls to me. I walk up to it. I can't see anything. Nonetheless, I step through. wholeheartedly accepting my fate and, more importantly, loving it. A warmness takes over as I drift into the white void. The warmth bathes me, birthing me into a new life. I wake up gasping for air as though I'd been choked for an eternity. Once the fear settles down, clarity returns. I look over at my phone. It's Sunday, the day before the festival. But more importantly, it's the start of a new week. My head is killing me. My head is throbbing in agony with each new breath I take. I can't even remember what I'd done last night. All I do know is I have to pay Sayori a visit. Bearing the pain, I force myself out of bed and get ready for the day ahead of me. I get dressed, brush my teeth, and get something in my stomach, as well as an extra dosage of pain medicine. I sit down for a few moments to let the pain wane away. After a while, I head through the door towards my friend in need. I knock on her door to no avail. I grab the key from under the mat and let myself inside. Well, she's not on the ground floor either. I walk up to the one place I know I'll find her. I walk up to her bedroom door. But before I knock, I can hear her sobbing. My heart sinks. I take a deep breath. It's time. I gently knock on her door. Hey, it's me, Sayori. Can I come in?
No. Don't worry about me. Go have fun with the others.
I know. Can we at least talk about it? I can hear her sigh. Sayori opens the door slowly. Hey, Sayori.
Hi. Come in. Make yourself at home.
She tries her best to dry her tears. She welcomes me in, and I sit down on her bed. How are you? It's been a while.
Well, I'm all right. Well, I'm a little glad you stopped by. I never see you here anymore.
It really has been that long, but times haven't changed, have they? I guess the more things change, the more they stay the same, huh?
Well, I guess. What brings you over? Aren't you supposed to be helping someone?
I just came to say hi. I'll be out of your hair in no time. How are your festival preparations? You're helping Monica out, right?
I am. But just online. She never actually planned on meeting in person.
Sayori, I know you're in pain. I know those little rain clouds are picking on all your scabs.
You mean...
I know you're depressed, Sayori.
Why? Alright. You got me. Don't you have other things to worry about?
I know where my priorities are, Sayori.
Huh?
It's normal to feel worried. These emotions come and go, just like the waves of a beach.
You don't get it. I've felt this way most of my life. Nothing's changed.
It still eats away at me to hear this. Keep going, Illy.
Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why have strangers put their time into someone who isn't worth anything? I just want to make everyone happy, not worry.
Do not forget that this pain you feel is something you must endure. Some say life is pain, and so some believe the best way to live is to love pain in a way. I've learned to let fate be my love.
Ellie, how can you say that?
I am deeply worried for your well-being. Don't mistake me for that. But I can't let this worry consume me. I want to help you best I can.
No, Ellie. There's nothing that can be done. I'm just being selfish. And the world is casting down all the karmic retribution I deserve. Please, let me accept these punishments. There's nothing I deserve more than to accept this burden.
I lightly grab Sayori by the shoulders and pull her in for a hug. We both love and accept our fate with open arms. But loving your fate doesn't have to be submitting to it. I realize now how terrible of a friend I am. So, if anything, I deserve all the bad karma you've received. Every trial and tribulation, every fall and tear, and it'll all come back. I've been an unfaithful friend these past few years, and I can't go back in time to fix it. I can't atone for all the crimes I committed, but I can at least cherish what I have before it's gone. I can make the best of this situation. And I wouldn't have seen that without you. I'm sorry, Sayori. From the bottom of my heart, I wish I could have been a better friend. I hear Sayori crying. Warm tears fall down to my shoulders.
Please. Please don't do this.
It's all right. Just let it out.
Your hugs are so warm, and that scares me. I don't deserve this. I can't.
We let go. I look into her eyes. The festival's tomorrow.
Yeah?
Would you like to go with me? You can say no.
I think it would be nice.
We can go see a doctor after the festival. Just cherish the little things. Take a look out the window, watch the birds fly, leaves dance in the wind. Could I sit and watch with you?
No, Ellie. Don't leave your friends waiting. They need you too.
All right. It's been a blessing to talk to you. Even a rainy day can be a happy one if you think about it the right way. Sayori nods.
Yeah?
I say farewell to Sayori and take my leave. I find someone waiting by my door. With everything done and my final goodbye said and done, I can finally put this behind me. I try to think of what I'll have to say to Monica and the others once tomorrow's news comes to light. But before I could ponder any further, I saw a familiar red-bowed girl running towards me. Sayori? What brings you here?
Well, my mind was being a big meanie. So, I wanted to see for myself. See how much fun you were having with the others. Your happiness is what matters most to me. But it hurts so much.
Take a deep breath, Sayori.
No. I'm supposed to feel happy for you. But every time I see you with everyone else, I'm supposed to feel happy for you. But every time I see you with everyone else, I feel my heart tearing itself apart. Maybe Monica was right. Maybe it would be easier if I just vanished.
Don't say that, Sayori. Monica doesn't understand your feelings. I hardly understand your depression. But spending this last week with you, that's something that's made me happy. Seeing you smile when I said I'd join the club gave me all the happiness I could ever ask for. I wouldn't trade it for the world. You are my world, Sayori.
No. Why are you doing this?
I put a hand on her shoulder.
You don't have to worry about me anymore. I'm so weak. I thought I wasn't worth your time anymore. I did this to myself. I don't blame you if you want to spend time with the others at the festival. I want to die. And...
That's enough. I pull her in for one last hug. To my dearest friend, I want you to believe deep in your heart that your life is worth living. You will never be forgotten. You either live or you learn. Just go forth in your life. Always continue to move forward. I can't promise to be here for the rest of your life, but I will love you for the rest of mine. Thank you, Sayori.
Huh? Is this okay?
It is, Sayori. It always will be.
Thank you. Oh, I wish we could stay like this.
Me too. But time keeps moving. You know, tomorrow's a big day. Sayori, let's go. I look into her eyes once again. Is it time for us to part ways?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Sayori. Thank you for being my friend, for showing me the literature club. I won't forget this. Thank you. No matter what happens, I will never forget you. You will always be my guiding light in the dark. I watch one final time as Sayori sighs deeply and closes her eyes. Fighting a terrible battle within herself, fighting who she is, trying so hard to reach out, to ask for help, to admit she needs help, and to take it. Yet, swatting her own hand away, telling herself she doesn't deserve help, that she could never deserve it. The impossible battle. After an eternity, one side finally wins, and Sayori opens her eyes again, her mouth asking me the question I already know she'll ask as the buried side of her reaches out one last time. She steps up to me and I pull her in as she pulls me in, both of us understanding what her final desperate wish is, as we kiss for the last time. To be loved, to be cherished, to be remembered. Eventually, we both break off the kiss, and Sayori turns and walks back into her house for the final time, as I return to my own. There may be nothing I can do for her, but I can keep her memory alive. I feel all the weight and guilt and past grudges and regrets dissolve. I've never felt so whole, content. Farewell, Sayori. It's the day of the festival, Judgment Day. I didn't bother taking the festival stuff with me. I don't think I was ever meant to attend the festival. I sigh deeply and begin my walk over to Sayori's house. I stand outside her door and prepare myself. I know what's on the other side. It feels so natural to do this. I've seen this scene a number of times, yet I feel like I shouldn't. But I have to. I don't have any other choice. I gently open the door. But I will not go gently into that darkness. The tolling of a bell plays in my head. I'm here. This is what Sayori has always been led up to do. And yet, I don't feel weak. I don't feel a dark presence looming over me like a rain cloud. I walk up to her. I'm not going to leave you. Not like this. I untie the noose around her neck. Her body falls limply into my arms. I carry her to her bed and lay her down. I put my hand over her eyes and shut them, finally putting her to rest. It's over. There will be another time to grieve. For now, I have to move forward. I pick up my phone and dial 911.
911, what's your emergency?
I need help. My friend just committed suicide.
Help will be on the way momentarily.
The operator keeps me on the line as I try to relax and explain the situation. After the call is over, I dial another number and call Monica.
Ellie, where are you?
There's been an emergency. Sayori. She's gone. She hung herself.
Oh my God.
She hangs up. I wrap my hand around Sayori's, feeling the last remnants of her warmth leave her. After a few moments, I stand up and glance around the room, seeing something on her desk. It's a note. I pick it up and read it.
Farewell. Don't worry about me. Just keep going. Never forget me. And live a life filled with happiness.
I feel my eyes swelling up with tears once again. I told myself I wouldn't cry. No, it's okay for me to feel this way. I let it out. I let out as much as I can. I can handle this. Eventually, I let it all go. I look back at Sayori. I shouldn't stay here any longer. This is really it. I swallow past the lump in my throat and head downstairs. It isn't long before the police and the other girls arrive. I explain everything to them. The girls and I sit in the living room while the police do their thing.
I'm so sorry, Ellie. I don't know what to say.
It's all right. We're all at a loss for words right now. Yes. Can we hold a moment of silence? Of course. We all go quiet. Seeing everyone like this is heartwarming in a way. All of us here for one person who's no longer with us. I look over at Monica. Her face is red. Tears roll down her cheeks onto the floor. I've never seen Monica feel this way before. Monica, are you crying?
I don't blame her. Why wouldn't she cry? Why did it have to be this way? It's not fair.
It's all right. You all have just never seen me like this before. This is my fault. Why didn't I see the signs sooner? I should have come to see Sayori in person. I could have helped her get through this. I was right to be worried Friday. It's all right, Monica. While we can't go back in time to undo our sins, we can't wallow in regret. The most we can do now can keep her memory alive. How? How do we do that? Well, we can start with some stories about her. Surely you have some funny stories about her, right?
Yeah, you're right. She had a way of making me laugh, even if her jokes were really bad. This one time, she told me she hated stairs. She then followed up by saying, because they're always up to something. I don't know why, but I just kept laughing my ass off. I think it was the way she said it. What about you all?
Well, I remember she tried a lot of new things. I think I was showing her how I wrote my poems back before we started to share them. She asked me, "How come all your poems are so gloomy? Smile a little." She said, "A poem that shines can be just as beautiful." Besides Monica, Sayori's one of the few friends I've ever had. A fond memory is a good one. I remember one time when we first started the club, I tasked Sayori with delivering the club's paperwork to the office. After a week, I looked on the list of school clubs, and I see that I was the president of the book club. I remember arguing with Sayori the difference between literature and books. But she found a way to make me laugh at the absurdity of the situation. I ran down to the office and corrected the mistake. I still laugh about it sometimes to this day. Always count on Sayori. What about you? You've known her for years. Surely you have a lot of stories about her. Well, I do. Deciding which one to tell is a good question. How about how we met?
This might be interesting.
Yes, please, do tell. Well, the details are kind of fuzzy, but what I do know is that when I was about 4 or 5, I had recently moved. Being a kid, moving homes was a bit hard. Everything around me was unfamiliar. One day, my mom took me to the park to go play. And then I met her. She accidentally threw a ball in my face. I subsequently landed on my ass. But after some apologizing and a little bit of crying, we played for hours. After a while, our moms started talking to each other as well, and it turned out she was my next-door neighbor. We walked home together and parted ways. Next day after that, we both came out and played all sorts of games. The rest is history.
For a fuzzy memory, you remember a lot of it.
Maybe it's just the way I tell myself how I remember that day. But that's my story on how we met.
It's adorable. And a bit funny.
Yeah, it is. The 4 of us continue to exchange stories about Sayori. Good times, bad times, funny and gloomy, bitter and sweet. I tell them stories that even I had forgotten, all the little moments lost in the years of growing up into who I am today. Memories that I will never forget. Today was something. Even if it started off tragic, we made of it what we can. So, do we all remember our funeral plans? Of course. It's just like planning a festival, right? I'll take care of the planning. Just remember to wear bright colors. You don't have to dress fancy either. We're not going to mourn her death. The funeral will be a celebration of her life. We'll do our best.
You can count on us.
For Sayori. Then it's settled. Let's all go home. Everyone leaves the living room and off in their own directions. I'm the last to leave her home. It feels bittersweet to put this chapter to a close. After what feels like an eternity, I finally close Sayori's front door and head back home. And thus, Today marks the day this nightmare comes to a close.
Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and ring those bells. That's all I have for today. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye, everyone.